Hey everyone, welcome to Keyboard Skills Pro. My name is Tom, and here we go with a little tutorial today for organ and keyboard players, but of course pianists could make use of this as well. And I'm going to show you today how to basically do basic chord substitution. Now, chord substitution in its simplest form is where you take a chord that normally sits in the song. So let's take a little basic tune like a Lightly Row. And then what you do is you change the chords, or some of the chords that are in that song, for something different. In other words, you are substituting them. So I thought I'd show you today one of the easiest ways to substitute chords. Now basically, all major chords have a chord relative. Think of it like a musical cousin. And all major chords have something that goes with them called the relative minor. Now you might possibly have heard of that phrase before if you've done music theory, but relative minor, as the title suggests, is the minor key or chord that is related to the major chord. So how do we work these out? Well, let's take our C major chord, and what we need to do is from C we count down, not including the C, so that's your starting note, count down 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. So the chord of A minor is the relative of C. So when you go from C major to A minor, you'll notice that it will have a nice back and forth changing effect. Okay, so see how that works? Back and forth like that. Now, if we then had, let's say, F major, we then count down from F, 1, 2, 3. Now what I've done for you, I've put all these in a chart, a PDF that you can download, so see the link in the description. But let's today show you an actual real musical example. I started up the video today with a nice slow, silky smooth laid back version of Fly Me to the Moon. Let's take another listen to that. Okay, so that's the original chords, and I put these on the screen for you. So the original song, as I learnt it, is written in C major, but it actually starts a little bit in A minor. So let's walk through the chords. Here they are on the screen. So we have got, first of all, A minor, D minor, G7, C. Let's do that without the style now. So here we go, A minor, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, and C major. Now listen to the melody on the top of that. Okay, so that works really nice. So the 4 chords are A minor, the next bar is D minor, the next bar is G7, and then we finish with C. And that's the first 4-bar sequence. So let's now swap out some of these chords. So we're going to substitute them. So the A minor at the beginning, I'm going to substitute that for its relative major, C major chord. The next chord, D minor, we're going to substitute for its relative major, F major. Now G7, what we're going to do with that one is we're going to play G7, okay, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to play there E minor 7, okay, and then C major, as we said earlier, is related to A minor, so we're going to put A minor there, maybe A minor 7 for a bit of fun. Now, the thing with chord substitution is, it's one of those things, you can put, as the old saying goes, everything in the shop window at once. So not all the chords perhaps will work if you change them round. Okay, now let's actually hear the difference between the two chords. We're going to now play the original version and then the substituted version. Here we go. Okay, now let's swap those out and let's hear now the substituted chords. Here they are on the screen. Let's have a listen to them, see what you think. Ooh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Some lovely colours going on there. Now, as I said at the beginning, you haven't got to do every single chord. So in practice, you would kind of mix them up a little bit. But what you could do on your music is underneath or above the chord that's printed in your book, get a nice pencil. Don't write in your books in pen unless you have to use a pencil, because then you can rub them out at a later date. Or just make a copy of your music so you can use that for your personal use and keep your books in great condition. Let's start by mixing these up. So here we go with A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor. Let's see how that works. Ooh, that's nice. So at the end there, that A minor chord has a little kind of sorrowful sound to it. Let's try C, F, G7, A minor 7. So this time we're going to use two substituted chords. The third one we'll leave as the original, and then A minor 7 at the end. That would sound like this. Okay, so hear that. C, F, G7. Now you're probably wondering, well, okay, I like some of the sounds. Not sure about maybe that one. It's all about experimenting and picking and mixing those chords together. The thing to remember is, though, is that if it sounds okay to you, that's okay. If it sounds not okay to you, maybe go back to the original chord. So it's all about using your ears and then deciding on the final arrangement that you want to go with. Now, one last thing to remember, and I did say this earlier, you haven't got to change all the chords, you just substitute some of them. So let's take the second line that goes like this. Okay, so that's F, D minor, E7, A. Now here's an example of how sometimes when you substitute chords, they don't always quite work out. So let's change them all over then. Here we go. D minor, F, I'm then going to use C sharp minor 7, and then C major at the end. Here we go. So that doesn't quite work, does it? Let's try C sharp minor. It's a bit too abrupt because C sharp and C are only half a tone apart. So in that example, maybe that third chord, E7, really needs to stay there, and then of course it perhaps leads on to A minor quite nicely. So let's try this as D minor, F, E7, A minor. Oh, that's nice, listen to that. And you can see sometimes I'm doing F major 7, A minor 9, you know, there's little variations on the chords that you can do. So I've put all of that for you in a PDF. It's called Chord Substitution. That's very basic what we've done there, and it's just simply changing relative minor for relative major chords and vice versa. And I've put the most common chords that you'll find in a PDF. Let's hear now that song with the whole verse, and I'll put some of my own touches in as we're going along. Here we go. Lovely sounds there, and you can see I was changing some of the chords in and out. B flat 7, G minor 6. Okay, and if you can use 6s and 7s and majors, so, you know, once you get a chord letter, don't be afraid to then try variations on that chord. So it's all about the experimentation. But you can see, though, the power of the left hand when you're arranging your music. So do have a try at that. Great on the organ. Of course, on the organ, you could use different bass pedals with different chords. So on a C chord, you could put an E pedal or a G pedal. That makes a big difference to the sound as well. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and have a try on some of your simple songs. Get out your keyboard books and organ books, get out book 1s and book 2s, complete organ player, and just try changing some of those chords around. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the subscribe button. It would be fantastic to gain you as a subscriber, and hit the bell. That way you'll be able to get notified when I upload a new video, which I try and do every week. If you've really enjoyed this video and you think this has been fantastic value for money, you've actually had here a free professional music lesson. This would have cost the best part of £15–20 here in the UK, so I like to share my knowledge online. If you would like to make a small contribution to the production of these videos, please do follow the link in the description to Patreon, and you become a patron of mine on my Patreon page. Would appreciate that very much. My name is Tom Horton, and thank you so much for your time here on Keyboard Skills Pro today. I'd like to thank the following patrons for their support, and also will say thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you soon.